Mission Impossible Rogue Nation. This one is number 5, and I like this movie quite a bit. What I really like about, I forget who directed this one. Let me see if I can find it here in the back. Christopher McQuarrie. That's it. I always forget that name. Um, what I like about this one and Fallout, because I've seen Fallout. That's the only Mission Impossible movie I've really seen before this one. Is that these two movies specifically, which are both directed by Christopher McQuarrie, are really fantastic at taking the best elements of the movies that worked previously and bringing them back. So this movie feels a lot more like the first one, the first Mission Impossible movie, a very tight knit thriller with a lot of things going on with it, and that feels really good to have back in this movie. A lot of the action scenes are really great, but it does feel a lot darker than the last few movies have felt. The last 3, to be precise. And then you get to this one, and if they brought that back in, but it still had the best elements of 4, a lot of that great action. So it was like that's why this is probably better than 4. 4 is my favorite, but this was better than 4 in the sense that it is the blending of the great action sequences and great direction of 4 and a lot of that stuff, but also advancing the action scenes, doing things that you couldn't do in the previous movie or didn't do in the previous movie, making them all work. And then you get, that excellent tone of the first Mission Impossible, and it adds a lot here. And then, we get to Fallout, and we'll talk about makes that movie great. But, they bring back things from the original movies, and it all works really good to make this movie actually feel like a journey. And I think that's something that's great about the last 2 movies, and why people are actually excited for the end of this franchise. Because before these 2 movies, Mission Impossible kind of fell all over the place. They were changing tones. They got different directors who were doing this and that, this and that. This brings everything from the franchise at this point full circle. These 2 movies, it does a really great job of making you want to see where this goes and get more excited, invested in this franchise. And I feel like if these 2 movies hadn't happened, no one would care about Dead Reckoning in the same way that they do about the franchise now. And I think that's what's really solid about this movie. I think these 2 movies have elevated the franchise a lot, got people like me excited and interested in the franchise, and that's really cool. And I just thought this was a really solid movie.